that. This is your style, eh? It's Ogaju. Ogaju. Good morning, Olufemi J, the lady for me herself. Good morning to all the ladies on board. Good morning to all the listeners, the ladies, the beautiful ladies and the gentlemen listening. Happy new month. We are here. Don't ask me how I spent my weekend, because I go start to talk here because
Tell
I
us,
was
how did you spend your weekend?
okay. It wasn't so much of an Owambe. It was a gathering of concerned community leaders, concerned parents about
Okay.
the abduction of the children from Oyo State, and it's very worrisome. It's very worrisome. We talked extensively about it, and because yesterday was the last day of the month, we were looking at that. So these children have been abducted, and the teachers, they were abducted about 16 days ago, as of yesterday. And you don't want to imagine 39 students, 7 teachers, and you begin to wonder. And we have toddlers, and then you are wondering that they're still in captivity. How are they faring? More so the toddlers. How are they faring? And then we talked about the directive from the school teachers, National Union of Teachers, how they said they're going to start an indefinite strike from today, and and so many other things. But me, I just want to appeal to some mischief makers to stop circulating misleading content online,
Okay.
because it will interfere with security operations and endanger victims. And then we are talking about remote forest zones. We talked about that too, which we have been, I mean, for the past years, even Sambisa Forest and all of that kidnappers have been using to, carry out their activities. So the question is, what are the state government doing concerning these forested areas? There are also areas that are gradually becoming forested because of lack of attention. Look at Lagos, look at the Long Bridge axis of Lagos Ibadan Expressway. Look at the 2 flanks of the bridge. Trees are growing. The forest is becoming thicker and thicker. And there was an information that I don't know whether I should talk about. Let me talk about it, because so you see, like I talked about, what's this place now? Lagos, in Lagos, yes, Mile 2 Yanoiba Road. I talked about how that the median is becoming a forest. See, we should always maintain structures. Infrastructures should be maintained. I haven't been there in the past 1 month, but the last time I drove around that area, I was worried, I was scared, and I wouldn't imagine myself driving around that area anything around 6 to 8 p.m. because I would be scared stiff. That place, the median, is not just, it's becoming a forest. So we are appealing to whoever is in charge. Please go and cut down those. I mean, that place is a road median. It's not a place for criminals to hide or for any nefarious activities to take place. So and so many other things. And then what came to mind again was, every forested area falls under a ward. It falls under a local government, a constituency or senatorial district. So what are the representatives of this area doing? Yes, the governor must rise to his responsibility. Mr. President is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, and he should do something and do it in a hurry, because we have toddlers being held captive. But what about the local government? What about the person representing that constituency in the House of Reps, or that senatorial district in the Senate House, or even in the State Assembly? What are they doing? They're all getting ready to fill us with what? To come and vote for them in 2027. I mean, do you know what it means for a parent? It is bad enough that an adult is kidnapped, let alone talking about a toddler. A toddler that even when he or she is within the comfort of the home, they are restless, let alone being in a forest. So all of these were very, very serious concerns that were raised. And also, we talked about parents and the need to be alert about their school, about the school that children attend, about the security of that school, the security measures the school is putting in place, because they should engage school authorities about, emergency plans, transportation safety, and communication system. Now, communication system is a huge problem here, because I am in the city center and I've been experiencing poor connectivity. So I'm not even prepared to be on video, because I in other programs that I've been over the weekend, the network was just bouncing me in and out of the of the place. So it is so highly discouraging. We need all hands on deck. We don't need to have an emergency like this before we begin to go up and down as if we are busy. Concerns should be raised about safety of schools in vulnerable areas. If you look at most of these government schools, especially in other states, okay, Lagos State, they mostly have perimeter fencing. But in most of other states, even in Ogun State, some of these government schools do not have perimeter fencing. They are just open. So anybody can stroll in there and do whatever and go away. And it is even worse in vulnerable rural areas. So you see, we need the government to be proactive. We don't wait till some children are abducted before we begin to move into action. We need, because you will keep telling us you are working. So instead of, if you cannot handle an inferno, don't even play with striking a matchstick. That is my opinion, because schools need long-term protection, and we must get that. We don't wait till there's an emergency. We also need better telecommunication coverage everywhere, especially in rural areas. What are we doing? I'm in the city center. I'm struggling with proper connectivity. So what is going on? And I'm not paying less for my data. I'm not paying less for my airtime. So what is going on? Somebody should give me my money's worth. So there is need, and also, I know that there is, I can't, it's not a Ministry of Forestry, but there are agencies that are in charge of the forestry, whatever. There is need for additional forest guards and expanded rescue teams, because these criminals operate in the forest areas. And in these forested places, do we have guards or not? Attention needs to be paid to all of these things, because you can't say because your child is at home at peace and in safety with you, you can't feel that people's pains. It is embarrassing. It is worrisome. It breaks one's heart that it's toddlers. For the very first time in Nigeria, toddlers are in captivity. Toddlers. Joe, thank you for this opportunity. Thank you very much.
I mean, very well said, because I like that you said there was a community leaders meeting, because all hands are on deck. Some people might say, excuse me, that is it because it's now in the southwest. Well, I mean, there's so much we can say about that, but at least we're seeing people get upset. More Nigerians are getting even more upset about it. There are some schools that I saw, dilapidated buildings, don't have any form of security at all. And I was like, and students come here to learn. Even the school that these kids were taking, the schools that these kids were taking from, same, and it's just so worrisome that you mean that right now in the year 2026, we still have schools like this that dilapidated. What happened to the state government, the local government? Why are they not looking into making sure that the schools are up, they are better built, better structured, there's security there? I mean, there's a lot to do, but we know that we have people that are responsible for these things. So it's not a case of, oh, you cannot solve it. It can be solved. People responsible for it just need to be called to order. That's it. How about you? How are you? How was your weekend?
Yeah, book is doing great. I want to thank God. My weekend was good. It was good. Finally, we finished our exams.
Actually,
Finally, we finished our exams from the Citadel School of Governance. But
congratulations.
thank you. So we are waiting for our graduation coming up in June. But for me, it was more like a lot of governance schools should actually come up, to train, to equip um, people who want to go into the governance sector, on what leadership in that sector is, the challenges, what mindset should you go in there, and then what solutions you should prefer, and then the attitude, the character, the tenacity, the discipline that you must have to go in there and make a change, not go there and just continue say that there are demons there and the system is bad. So when you are going there, come up with your own structure to ensure that things are done and we make impact. And yes, of course, Sunday, well, yes, I had to leave for a conference, and I am good. I am good. And to add to what Ibn Abon mentioned, honestly, this is the way to go. We cannot just wait for Mr. President. Yes, we know that Mr. President is the chief security officer for the nation. The Constitution says that Section 14B, I think 14B2 or so. Yeah, I'm not a lawyer. Yeah, but it says that it's very clear that is their sole responsibility, security of lives and property. And that's why he's the commander. Right, but then we have other arms, we have the government, we have the what do you call them, the governors, you have the local government chairman, we have the councillors, and then of course the way we are, we have people that have influence over a community, so I'm happy that the community leaders are gathering. I want to believe that they must also have done that in the north. It's not everything that happens that gets reported, right? And you will be shocked that even landlord associations, they begin to gather and begin to look at, okay, what's now. So it's not just because it's coming nearer. I mean, most people that are watchers will know that, hey, they're already there. It's not now. Imagine it's not now. Maybe now they're now manifesting their true color, but they have a strategy and they've planned these things, for years. So, but then do we have to wait for another one to come? Absolutely no. Then that means we are not leaders. We are not proactive leaders. We now need to begin to say, okay, now what do we do? What are the practical solutions that we can do as an individual, as a family, as a community, right? And as a larger community in the local government and all that. So everybody has a part to play in this thing. When you see something, say something. But like I said, when you want to say something, where is that safe place, to say these things? These people are just within us. They're around us, and it's not to sound, and make people afraid, but I mean, let's not deny the truth. These things are there, right? But then what do we do aside from calling from God? Because that is the first strategy. You need to call on God for spiritual intervention. You understand? We we see so many examples in the Bible that it was only God, that used ordinary people, to bring about a turnaround time. And aside from that, angels will not come and build the nation. They can strengthen us, but that's why God has put human beings with brain, to fashion out things. So I want to celebrate all the community leaders that met. I love the fact that Ibn Abba mentioned, the vegetation, on manned spaces, right? I mean, look at Lagos to Ibadan. On manned places. Who is coming it? Now they cannot say they don't have drones. There are drones that doing super things that can begin to monitor movement of people, even underneath the green trees and things like that. So I think it just calls for the governor and everybody, to rise up and let's sort this thing out. And individuals, when you see things, you talk. And then for those who also play their own part in the value chain, like we talked about, the person who is supplying food, supplying drugs, supplying machines. You understand? You should be able to raise caution. Somebody comes and says he wants to buy 30 motorbikes. You should be able to say, you might not be able to question, but hey, just like they do in the banks, when they see a suspicious deposit, they trigger, the status. I think that is what we need to begin to do now. But then the government also has to protect the individuals. People see, but because the government is not there to protect, so they will keep their mouth and be praying, or they find a way around it. Maybe they will just carry themselves and their family out of the place and leave. But we trust that God is going to change Nigeria and save Nigeria. That's our prayer, and I know God answers prayer. So once again, I want to say good morning, everybody. Hey, you better come. Good morning. Now you start this thing. No?
Yeah.
Now you start that way.
Yep. Okay, let's get into the first one. I think we can only take one today, really. Now, just to set a backdrop, a lady shared a video of her 8-year-old daughter in the kitchen cooking. Basically, her kids came back from school and then she asked whether it was content or not. We know that this is also the reality of some people. The kids are coming in from school. The girl is 8 years and the boy, from the looks of things, looks like 7 or 6. And then she just gave her daughter a tray of food ingredients, asking her that she should go and cook. Now, when I saw it, I smiled. And my smile was like, hey, yeah, was more yeah, because I remember that. Interesting. I was saying this to somebody last week or over the weekend. I said, Nami, they cook for my house. Like, I don't recall my my siblings didn't cook. My mom, I started cooking as early as maybe 8, 9, 10. Now, on one hand, I can say that this is a good life. Cooking is a good life skill, and everybody should learn how to cook, because it's this same cooking that is causing many, many issues in families. But that's not it. But a lot of people were like, what happened to the boy? Because it was the girl that the tray of food was given to, not the boy. And then I said, this looks very familiar, because my brother didn't start cooking until he was like an adult, but because I had gotten married, so I'd gone to my own home, and then he was by himself and he was hungry. Yes, he had a girlfriend, but his girlfriend was not about that life. Pay Omawale, come and cook for the week. She's like, like his girlfriend, now wife, thankfully. So she never, she only would cook maybe if she came to visit for the day or whatever. But this of course brought up a lot of outrage and from people, because they're like, what happened to the boy? And a lot of people are like, why are we teaching the girl to cook and the boy is not cooking? That's what is, whether it's content or not, it sends a negative message out, because at the end of the day, that's what is causing issues, like I mentioned earlier, in homes where women are, they'll go to work, they will cook, they'll do this, they will cook and stuff, and then the man is, even, let's not even go to even marriage, a lot of people don't know how to cook, a lot of men don't know how to cook because of these kinds of situations. So I'm glad that we even have seasoned parents in the house who can share from their wealth of wisdom. I personally am very, very teach your children, regardless of the gender, how to cook. We're not doing that in my house. Everybody must know how to cook. Don't cook salt and add rice. If you know what I mean. There shouldn't be focus on the girl to cook and say, is that how you cook in your husband's house? Ni age 8, ni age 9. No. And also, this for me, another thing is, if this child at age 8 is cooking for the home, why is she cooking for the home? What's going to the mother's hands? Like, I have so many. I'm not saying, oh, you can't cook for the home, but it ranges from here to here. But I'm going to let the ladies speak. Bookie, you can start.
Okay, firstly, this is my own perception. It's just content. It's just content.
I know what I said. You
However,
can say it's content, but this is also some people's real life
yes.
realities. Yeah.
So that is it. Well, however, these things do happen. And I'm glad that after she cooked the okra soup, she now had to call the mother to come and prepare the eba. You understand? But like we said, this is the reality of some homes. I mean, instant noodles, fry egg, things like that. They do that. Let me shock you. I did not even notice the boy. I think I was just glued to the fact that she came back from school.
That's a really an interesting
And
angle that you didn't
I
notice
think,
the boy and he was
and,
living there.
and the next thing I saw was a tray. So I mean, I didn't even until you are mentioning that okay, maybe I'll now go back again and now look at. And it's true. It should be both of them. Oh yeah, Lele, go into the kitchen, be assisting, be cooking. You understand? For me, it was like, 8-year-old. She could carry Dubai. But I now realized that the mother did not tell her to use the gas, right? It was a small stove. And I remember when my own children were growing, we had gas, but they dare not go to that place. So even when they want to probably, they could break eggs and fry bread, they could prepare noodles, and so those are the little things. And then of course they could actually prepare rice or water if you like, whatever you see there, just eat, but under the supervision of their aunt, because they dare not go into the kitchen at that age. They started doing that when they were in the secondary school, that they can enter the kitchen on their own. But before then, they have to be supervised. The auntie will stand by the door and be looking. You understand? Because nothing must happen to those children, but they were the ones that will do this and this. And then when it comes to carrying hot things and things like that, because I saw at a point she carried that thing with bare hand. I said, there's something wrong, go. You understand? I mean, so they don't know, but for them to know the sequence, they pour this, do this, break the egg, if it's egg, put a little bit of salt, so yeah, put a little bit of oil and all that, they could do that at age 8, really. Because let's face it, this is the reality that we find ourselves now, and even they also love to cook. That's one thing that I also want to say. At that age, they are interested in what you're doing. And that is when you can actually get them, to do this thing. Because if you miss it at that point, when they are showing interest and the fear of, hey, no, I don't want you to inside the kitchen, you lose them. So by the time you now expect them to now come into the kitchen, PM, you've lost it. But at that age, there are things you can actually help them out with. Okay, even when they are even much younger. Okay, carry the plate to the sink. Get me a cup. Go and bring water. Go and bring salt. You will have put the salt where they can reach it. Normally we put the salt on the shelf. You put it in the place, just to get them, to also belong that we all contributed in cooking these things. But then you also have to be very careful because children can be very playful in the kitchen. So you have to want them no play in the kitchen. You understand? Because they can play and then go and fall inside hot water or whatever it is. So it's just to create a safe place, particularly when they begin to reach 7, 8, to help in the kitchen. And then on the issue of the boy, like I've mentioned, I'm sure she will come back and give us another version of the boy. Maybe this time around, it's not going to be okra. It's going to be vegetable. It's going to be maybe spinach or whatever it is, or ugu. What I see, because people will say, so what happened to the boy? The boy went to go and do his own work or what? And then the girl, so we'll come to that. But truly, I think we should not spare the boy now. Let's look at what is happening, even globally, or maybe we should narrow it down to Nigeria. Why is it that it is, when a lady meets a man that can cook? I don't know if you've noticed it in all these movies. They get so excited. And then the men now are now using it to catch ladies. Oh, that I want to actually cook for you in my house. I don't know if you've seen that trend. I've seen it. You know, they are just lucky or blessed to know how to cook. But it should not be a big thing if we do our part. Because like I always tell my boy, I say, I know you don't like to cook, but at least I taught you how to cook. I said, because there are some times that your wife will not be available to cook. Are you going to starve the children? At least you know that. They see the example that sometimes I'm not around, the father is around, and the father goes into the kitchen to cook for them, and they help. Though they might say, "Oh, there was a little bit of salt. There was this. They did not put this, but you shall eat it, yeah." You shall eat it. So that particularly maybe when she's pregnant or when she's ill or whatever it is, are you now going to say no? She has to go and cook. You've got to go in there and cook. So I know somebody is thinking, that after all, there are many, many people now that are doing business, but is it all the time? So please, whatever we extend to the ladies, to our girls, let's also extend to our boys. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Over to you, Ibn Abba. What say you? I feel like you're going to give us stories for days. Well, go ahead.
Okay. First, I want to say that some of these boys who are now men, some of them can cook, but as soon as they are married, because of the mindset they grew up with, the mindset is, yes, maybe if you're at home, you can cook, but once you are married, you don't even know where the kitchen is. It's the
I want to give
responsibility.
you second, because yes.
Thank you. You don't even know where the kitchen is, so it's the woman's responsibility. And that is the problem we are talking about at this moment. Because two children came back from school, a boy and a girl. The boy went straight to the room to do whatever, but the girl went straight to the kitchen to cook. So you see, yes, it is good to teach children how to cook, but it is better to teach the boy and the girl how to cook. And while they are learning how to cook and everything, teach both of them, teamwork. Let them learn teamwork. Teamwork, so that when you grow up and out of the family, you can team up with your wife once in a while to cook. It is not completely the responsibility of the wife always. Sometimes take delight in cooking for your family as a husband. These are memories. These are stories that will be piled together to become history. When your children will sit down, they remember when, oh my goodness, daddy made bread and egg, and it was like the most delicious bread and egg ever. So you see, you're not doing it because you are not a complete man. You are doing it because you are a rounded man. You are complete. You can do anything. You are a team builder. You are a team lead. Team leads do not abdicate responsibilities to just the followers and then go and sit down. You march along with them. You walk along with them. And that is the mistake most parents make. If this woman tomorrow comes and brings up a content that the boy is cooking, it is an afterthought. It is not something that is it's not in her character. She doesn't know that you don't just raise a girl child to be a kitchen mama. Everybody should be everywhere. The girl child should understand kitchen activities. The boy child should understand kitchen activities. And the girl child should know how to. In my house, my girls can wash my car. They wash cars in my house, girls. And I will inspect. Did you wash the tire well? Did you wash the tire closet well? I will check it. In my house, my girls and my boys, they play ball together. That's how I grew up. I don't understand why a particular chores will be set aside for the girl child, especially the kitchen activities. No, you are telling her, you are limiting her. There are ways we limit children. We don't even understand. And there are ways we build ego in the boy child, and we don't even know. When the boy is there, and you're always calling on the girl to go to the kitchen, go and check the food, go and check go and do this. And even sometimes maybe you have run out of certain food items in the house, you call the girl, go to the market. I don't do that too, my dear. In fact, there was a particular day that everybody wanted ogbono, and we didn't have enough ogbono in the house. And the person available at that time was my son. I sent him to the market. In fact, was one telling me, Mommy, I gave him a list. He said, Mommy, you did not add this, you did not add this. I said, go and check the kitchen. Do we have enough? Because I'm not going to buy all these things in the area market before they come and put all their responsibilities on my head in terms of cost. I'll go to the main market. So what am I saying here? My son can shop and buy what is needed to cook every kind of meal we cook in the house. My daughter can do the same thing. My daughter can, if generator, when you are going to change over. I was at my friend's place when she went to change over. She was looking for the boy. The girl was in the house. She said, send the daughter. I said, I said, yeah. Where are they? She said, what? Now wait. My girl will go to the wherever and change. I don't believe in a certain kidding. The only thing I know is that the girl child, biological formation is different from the boy child. So that is the only difference as far as I'm concerned. In terms of chores and responsibilities, I don't think I would particularly put a responsibility, a particular one on the girl child. I don't do it. I'm not doing it because today we're talking about girl child, but that was how I was raised. In my family, while growing up, my brothers could do what we the girls could do. That was the kind of family I grew up in. So I never saw it as boys don't go to the kitchen. Nibo. When my brother, when my brother will cook, will make some stew here, you will begin to wonder if like this that nobody going to cook stew for this household. And the same thing with us, the girls. So parents should please, because all of these little things are what will build them for tomorrow. These little things are what will make the boy child know that as a leader in your home in the future, you cannot just be a leader that is sitting around watching football alone. If your wife is not available, you should be the father that will go into the kitchen and make good meal, not meal that the children will eat with a lot of love because you just cooked something that is almost like, what is this? No. And in a home, when there was a day, there was a day that my car had issues and I was surprised. So I packed it, I opened the bonnet and I was checking. Do you know how many cars? I said, amen. Hey, hello. They were like, wow. I said, wow, what? In my mind though. So one even came down to see. I said, and it's okay. I'm just sorry, do you understand? So you see, it is odd. How could they? How woman want open bonnet? They look for waiting. No. What if you are stranded somewhere? So we should train every child, boy or girl, as an actor. Like my mom says, as an actor. You know, an actor can step into any role. If you're an actor, you can be a very chronic introvert, but in your acting career, they can give you a role that will make you look like a very vulnerable extrovert. You understand? So my husband will say everybody should be an actor in the sense that everybody should be able to step into every role that is in the house.
I love that.
Life. Everybody should be an actor. Don't wait. No, I can't do this. So no, you should be able to do it. Parents must teach children. My girl child will go to the car and check the water level, check the oil level. Because sometimes the boys are not around. So it is me that will not be going to do that. Or I'll begin to look for one driver or one person. No, please. Parents should learn. When you train up a child like this, there is no responsibility that will look like, no, this is not for me. I'm a man. No. Sorry to take our time. In my church, coincidentally yesterday, we had the youth the youth took charge and they came up with a program that had to do with relationship, boy and man and woman and all of that. You know how what that would generate into. And it's got to a point that we're talking about what do you bring to the table. Can you imagine? It was, in fact, the youths were so excited, and should I say, fortunately, unfortunately for them, I was one of the panelists. So one row go that one, they follow, because we have to call a spade what it is. We have to stop deceiving ourselves. On one hand, we are embracing technology that is even new, that is even all of that. And then on the other hand, we are trying to reject some things. This is not part of our culture. What are you saying? You cannot be saying yes and in one corner, I'm saying no in one corner. You have to accept that this is what it is, and you must run along with it. Everybody should go to the kitchen. But I love to cook for my family. Me. So even, yes, my girls can cook, my boys can cook, but I would still love to go to the kitchen and cook. My friend in the UK that we used to stay together, my friend will tell you, I know her for that. If the children did not come to the kitchen to assist her, they won't eat that food. You will go and drink